What's up, people? Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another match reaction here at the Cup Chasers podcast. I was unable to watch the game live yesterday, but I've just taken in the full 90, and here are my match thoughts. First of all, I loved that Trossard was in the left-sided 8. I've been calling for a new option, something for someone to take hold of the position, so to spread the opportunity around was something I was happy to see, and I thought he did well. I didn't think he really imposed himself on the game, but I thought that he made some good forward runs. I thought he linked up play well. So I didn't think he did bad at all in that position, to be honest with you. About as good as any of the others, maybe a little better than some. So I was definitely happy with that performance. I thought his link-up play on the left-hand side with Martinelli was pretty decent at times. I definitely thought that we could have gotten at the outside backs a lot more. Brentford defended well, and their low block was very, very negative, very, very low. So obviously the way to beat that is to get at the outside backs where there is a little bit of space. There wasn't much in behind the defenders today, or yesterday, I should say. And so Jesus didn't have a lot of influence on the game. Even when he tried to come back for the ball, it did get clogged there in the middle of the field. But I thought that Arteta definitely saw that that was an opportunity at halftime, and we began to put in more crosses, which is something we don't do a whole lot. But we were working it down the side and then back to Zinchenko or Saka or Odegaard at the corner where the box meets and getting the ball across, which ended up being how we scored the goal. But in the first half, we did it a couple of times, and in the second half, we did it a couple of times. And I was calling out for someone to crash the back post. I remember one time Martinelli cuts back past his man and hits the ball in. Perfect curler that goes through the 6-yard box and nobody even touches it and goes out for a goal kick. And he's standing there clearly going, hello, who's crashing the back post? Saka, Odegaard, somebody's got to be there. So I was definitely calling for it, calling for someone to gamble, to get in there on the end, and eventually someone would, but we'll get there. I do think that we dominated pretty much all of the statistics. The only one that was kind of even was the second balls. So obviously Brentford's tactics are to, when they do have the ball, they did play through the press once or twice, but their main tactics are to lob it forward and try to win the second ball. That's what they did with Tony. They've stuck with it even without Tony. We've mentioned it before on the pod. We've mentioned it in the match reaction last time we played them. Very similar type of game. Arsenal definitely dominated possession like we always do. And I thought a lot of the side-to-side stuff was good as far as how quick it was. When it's against the low block, you have to be quick to open up the space. But you got to credit Brentford for blocking out that space. And I think Ethan Pinnock doesn't get enough credit. I think he's one of the most underrated defenders in the league. I think he's once again had a good game. He's definitely a strong defender back there. I thought that it was another really negative performance from Brentford, even though they do defend well. I mean, at home, I know you're playing against a team that's really strong and can score well and has the dangerous weapons up top. But as soon as we scored, they decided that, okay, now that we're 90 minutes into the game, we're going to come out and try to play. And, they looked like they could do something going forward. We defended well, held on to the lead there in the last 5-6 minutes of stoppage time. But why not do that the whole game? I get that we can hit you on the break, but it just wasn't very brave, very negative from Brentford. And, that's how they played against Chelsea, and they won. And so, obviously, I suppose we're encouraged to do so again. But, again, it's at home, and you're sitting back like that. It's almost Leicester-esque how deep they were sitting back. But in the end, we kept going. I thought it was a professional performance. Very a grind is what I would call it. Definitely ground out the win. I think that the tactics from Arteta were spot on. He noticed that what we needed to do was get down the back post. Finally, somebody makes a back post run, and of all people, it's Kai Havertz who comes in and actually has a decent 10 minutes, and then, of course, caps it off with the goal. I mean, I was crying out for somebody to make a back post run, and finally, Havertz has paid back a little bit of Arteta's trust, just a tiny, teensy little bit. But to gain momentum, you have to get the first one. You have to have the first good performance to have momentum, to gain any consistency, to build any consistency. And so, as much as I don't like Kai Havertz, I couldn't be happier for him. I definitely hope he pushes on and does better. The only reason I don't like him literally at all is because of how poor he's been for 3.5 years. But if he shows quality and continues to improve, then of course my tune will change. I'm certainly not one to just hate him for hate's sake, but if he can continue to get big goals, then hey, you got to love him, got to praise him when he's doing his thing, when he's winning matches for the team. That's all you can ask him to do. So yeah, I definitely thought his cameo was without his goal, I thought he had some impetus, some energy, had some decent touches. There was even one moment where before I knew who it was, I was like, oh, nice work. And then I looked and I was like, oh, that was Kai. Well done. All right. I think it was a moment where we played out of a really tight press, and we could have gone, the guy who received the ball in the middle of the field, I didn't realize it was Kai at the time, could have turned back into the press and would have lost the ball, but a quick turn in the opposite direction because Zinchenko was running past him and just laid the ball off to Zinchenko, got us free and down the left, and Martinelli had to run at the right back. So it was a good end to the escape from the press, and I was very surprised, but also happy and impressed to see that it was Kai. So give him his flowers when he deserves them. And there you go. I thought we defended really well. Saliba, Gabriel, machines back there. I thought Ramsdale was very nervous in the first half. A couple of nervy moments, didn't really cover himself in glory, but we escaped from him, got through it, and I thought he improved in the second half, both distribution and in his confidence, I guess, or the way he looked strong. I was happy to see that the guys still believed in him, still had the faith to give the balls back to him, and even when he was under pressure, to stick with the game plan and not worry about what happened before. That was good to see. So I thought he improved in the second half and got the clean sheet. At the end of the day, it was, not his best performance, but I think that Ramsdale's shot-stopping abilities definitely make up for some of the nervousness he can give Arsenal fans when he's on the ball. And I don't think that Raya has necessarily made us, more calm and confident on the ball. So fair play to him. Gets a clean sheet. That's that's definitely a huge positive. We'll take the 1-0 professional performance, classic 1-0 to the Arsenal. On a weekend where City and Liverpool both drop points in perhaps controversial fashion. Spurs lose. It's definitely a great weekend for the Arsenal. We're sitting top going into December. Once again, you love to see it. And hopefully it will continue. We got Lens next up in the Champions League, hopefully to clinch top spot. I couldn't be more excited. And hopefully you are as well. Go ahead and smash up the likes on the video. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. We are on our way to 200 subscribers. So go ahead and hit that subscriber button if you're new. I really hope you're having a good one out there wherever you are. And you will see me next time.